About my love, wasn't it enough? Just let me know.
We know that the Florida documentary is coming out. We probably know about the Johnny Manziel documentary coming out. They're both coming out in August. Actually, I think this is a four-part series, if I'm not mistaken. But so Johnny Manziel documentary. They're talking about this one. If you've seen the previews, he's talking about how he was. It was like a $1 million bender during the season. That people are like, I've never seen somebody party that hard and play that well in college ever, or just an athlete in general. So that one's definitely going to be interesting. Like I said, the Florida Swamp Kings one about the 06 and '08 season, the championships. And then Barry Bonds, the whole steroid deal. They're doing one on that.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing a one on Jake Paul, which will be the most uninteresting one to me. Um, but yeah, yeah.
Facts.
Nobody
Where
don't care about that one. The
where
Barry
did
Bonds one's going to be really cool though, because
yes.
he leads the
Especially
whole
him missing
MLB.
the Hall of Fame too.
Yeah, and
Getting
he leads the
routinely
MLB in
voted.
home runs in all time. So yeah, it's going to be a cool one.
Yeah, and like think about it too. You see, if you're Netflix, you just seen the success of your new quarterback documentary, and you're gonna want to continue it, like doing the sports, because that hit, because you're getting sports fans attention. Because there's, let's be honest, not like right now, recently there not has been good documentaries about like sports outside of like The Last Dance, and now you got the hit with the quarterbacks. Now you're working on Johnny Manziel, like a college great, and now you're doing like one of the greatest like teams assembled in Florida. Like you're gonna have good success if you continue this up.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I love seeing it.
Yeah,
They're fun to
I
watch.
do
I mean,
too.
like you said, you're right. Though. I mean, there's not really a lot of good documentaries about sports out. Like, not really, really solid ones. There's some about some older teams and stuff like that, but there's no like stuff where you like, for example, like Johnny Manziel in Florida. Like, there was crime at Florida, and Johnny Manziel was on the drugs. Like, it's nice to hear the full story come out like the real way. So that's what I like about it. Because
And
it's not going to be in the media. Like, yeah, I was doing cocaine before I woke up for the game, and then I went out there and threw 4 touchdowns. Like, the media is not going to say that. So
but these documentaries can get a good insight into it, and it can give the normal fan like really what's going on, and that's why the documentary was a success,
mhm.
because you saw their daily lives, you saw their like week in week out what they do to prepare.
I mean, let's be honest here. Like, people love seeing the rise and fall kind of documentaries and where they are now, and this is like the best time to tell the complete story, especially for somebody like Johnny Manziel. And let's be honest, Tim Tebow's later half of his career, even when he played baseball, wasn't all that great either. And Urban Meyer having the downfall that he had too. So
Mhm.
it'll be a nice like bow on everything that's happening, even though their futures are still yet to be determined. But what better time than now to catch them when everything's a little slow for them.
Mhm.
Tim Tebow's away, Urban Meyer's away. You got homeboy's brother that just came in the news for some stupid stuff too.
Yep.
Aaron Hernandez's brother, but um, the Johnny Manziel thing is going to be cool. And I mean, I also look at documentaries as like a way for younger players to see the downfalls of some of their peers, because I mean, this is one of their peers. I mean, Johnny Manziel
Yeah, that's a good point.
is one of their peers. So you can see an analytical approach, or analytical, and from the words from his mouth to see if he's grown from the situation that he's been in. But
Mhm.
also, it's going to be a real critical approach even for him to rewatch this back and see how much of a downfall it is. So, I mean, I'm not saying that this is going to affect his life in any way because he already lived through a lot of these things. But I mean, if I was showing a young kid that, let's say Spencer Rattler, right? Spencer Rattler, we all seen the
Yeah.
video when he was in high school being a turd to his
Mhm.
teammates. The Johnny Manziel documentary might have been a good documentary for him to watch to curb his attitude quickly on how bad things could get. A guy that had everything, the guy that won a Heisman his freshman year, the guy that played with Mike Evans, the guy that they beat Alabama that year too.
They
Yeah.
So
beat
it's
Alabama when Bama was Bama.
yeah, when
Like
Bama was Bama, and
like
he was that guy, man. I mean, he was a shorter quarterback too, but nobody cared. Nobody cared about any of that. He was breaking the mold in all kinds of different areas. And now to have a documentary on this would be really good for a younger player to see, and also a great, like I said, a great self reflection on what he's done during his life. Now people are not going to be able to control, the editing and stuff that happens. They're going to make things look probably worse than they actually were, or better than they actually were
Mm-hmm.
too. But a documentary is a documentary at the end of the day, and it tells a lot of truth. Same thing with Florida. You got really
Yeah.
good guys that played on that team and really bad guys now. I mean, they
Like-
were definitely, you had some night and day kind of players on there. You got the Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow is like my favorite Florida Gator that I've ever seen.
Yes.
I mean, to me, the most iconic picture in college football is when they played us in Florida State, and he had that red garnet paint on his jersey, and it looked like blood, and he was flexing when he ran for that first down, and we killed him on that play, but he got up and knew that he was the man. That's one of the best pictures of all time in college football history. And that cemented his legacy. That told you right there how tough he was. But then seeing the highs and lows of Urban Meyer's health problems, and him eventually going to Ohio State, and
Health problems.
health problems. And they're going to talk about his Ohio State days and how he just gave up there after a while, and
Yes.
especially when, I mean, there was a big recruiting battle happening around the time that he left that nobody remembers, that he was obviously scared about. And then his time in Jacksonville too. Then you got the Aaron Hernandez thing, and you got Percy Harvin's migraine problems in the NFL too, and him being a Super Bowl champion. And who else was on that team, Fishing?
Oh my God, a lot. Riley Nelson or whatever, Riley Cooper.
Riley Cooper. They're gonna talk about his time with the Eagles, and
was it Brandon
stuff he did there.
Spikes?
Brandon Spikes. Yep.
Yeah, there was a bunch. There was a bunch. Major Wright, I think, was on there. So
Major Wright.
yeah.
So I mean, it's gonna be cool. I don't really care about, honestly, the quarterback series that's happening on Netflix right now, because they're gonna over glorify those guys. I mean, to some extent, whatever.
I like.
We know Patrick Mahomes is a champion. We know Marcus Mariota is a good dude, and we know Kirk Cousins has the tougher road than all three of them. So
yes.
Mm-hmm.
But these two right here, especially,
I'm excited for.
I'm super excited for, because I'm a college football fan first before I was an NFL fan. I love them both the same. But like, if you gave me the choice and you put a gun to my head and said you can only watch one of these for the rest of your life, it's college football.
I think
For
we're all
sure.
picking that. Let's be honest.
Most of us would. I'm sure some of us that's part of ECG would not. But I lived that Johnny Manziel. Like, that was one of the most exciting times in college football. Everybody was Texas A&M fans when they saw him play, bro. Like, let's not even front, bro. You wanted them to beat Alabama.
We all were happy when they beat Alabama.
What was their coach's name? I forget his name.
I forget his name too.
Same.
Drawing a blank.
I forget his name. I don't remember it.
Let me do him justice. Texas A&M coach.
I know he's got the same record as Jimbo just about right now.
Kevin Sumlin.
Thank you.
Yeah, Kevin Sumlin.
And that was cool too, because I mean, we don't get political in here, but like, it was actually cool to see like an African American coach that has like that recruited this dude, them have so much success, when he was he was in a limbo stage too, because they were talking about him on the hot seat for years until Johnny Manziel got there. So that's also probably going to be a storyline there too. So,
something else for me, that 2008 Florida team, that expanded my college football like knowledge, because before that year, like, I was just starting. I was all about like the Badgers, and then just seeing that team with like Tebow, Harvin, like Hernandez, that like offense, that got me into like college football that I am today. So if it was not for that Florida team, I probably would not be as big of a college football fan as I am now.
Yeah, and if I, what's up, AK? Thanks for coming through, man. If I had to make a suggestion to Netflix, if like they were going to do a documentary, I'm gonna ask y'all too. what you would think as far as like the college football landscape, what you think it would be possible, like would be really cool that you would tune into every week. Well, they release all the episodes all at the same time. It's not like anything else, but would that you would binge watch. I think one that I would binge watch is the rise and fall of Nebraska and Tennessee.
Ooh.
Yeah, for sure. I would watch one on the Bama Dynasty, probably Dynasty, if
Dynasty.
you want to call it. But I would watch one on that for sure. FSU, I probably would
FSU's another
when they went on their run.
You got Florida for
Oh,
me.
with Bobby Bowden or
Mhm.
Yeah.
Fisher?
Bobby Bowden, yeah.
There's a
Both, to be honest, for me.
I should send you that send you that documentary they did on Bobby Bowden. It came out a couple years ago. That explains the whole thing. It's dope.
Yeah,
send it to
I watched like a quarter of it, but I never finished it. But yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was dope.
That USC team with Reggie Bush. That's another one I would
Oh,
not
the
mind.
That's a good
USC
one, too.
team. Well,
Yeah.
just on Reggie Bush in general would be dope.
Exactly, because man changed college football.
Yeah,
Like,
I
Yeah, there
think-
ain't much drama with them though, you know. So it's like
Not-
that's probably why there's probably why there's not much about them.
exactly. but
Damian
still, that
Damian
was
said
cool.
Penn State. What you mean from what? With
Oh,
Penn State?
stop it,
Are
Damian.
you talking about the whole
Sandusky? Yeah, that's what he's
the
talking about.
the Sandusky joint? I mean, that would be interesting too. But like,
That would be.
I mean, I'd be more interested in seeing
Well,
what was the coach's name? Why am I drawing a blank on his name, bro? Not Sandusky.
what's
Oh my god, bro!
Yeah,
On the spot, bro. I can't do it. What was his damn name? Paul something? It was Jerry Sandusky and
Oh my god, bro! Why are
Jesus.
we drawing?
that drives me crazy.
Joe Paterno, bro.
Yes, yes,
God
yes.
dang. I would watch one on his legacy for Penn State. Because he had them boys.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
You know what also would be a good one?
what?
The LSU team that had a documentary on Tyron Woodley or Tyron Matthew
That is a good one.
when he was the
Yeah.
Honey Badger. And bro,
Honey
that
Badger?
was an exciting time during college
That
football
was.
too, bro. When Honey Badger was playing at LSU, everybody was talking about that dude, man. And then he got into that whole trouble with the quarterback with the whole weed joint. And then the fact that like when he got, Patrick Peterson was clamoring for him to get drafted to the Cardinals, and he had Tyrann Matthew stay at his house, and he stayed out of trouble, yo. Still to this day, he's been clean. But what if he would have came out off the hype though and never got into that trouble, bro?
He
Man.
never a lot of.
I'm talking about with the blonde hair and everything, bro. What if that Honey Badger played in the NFL? I would love to see a documentary on that too. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that's a good one too. There'd be a bunch of good ones. Of course, we're just nerds, but
Yeah.
Hey, could we do like a live watch reaction to this stuff?
I'm down. I got one. For me personally, I want to like the rise and fall of like
possibility.
Texas.
Yeah, we could do. We obviously we can't show it, but we can
Yeah.
we can have it up where we're reacting to it and put like a timer on there so people can, people in the chat, they can see exactly where we are and like turn it on and watch it with
Oh,
us
that'd be
that way.
yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. Just
I
so
would
they're
think about that.
watching
That's-
with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, other people can watch and hear our commentary on it. So that would be cool.